Fans hoped for a love tale as famous as Sir Paul McCartney's music when he married Heather Mills, one of the most adored members of the Beatles. The marriage, however, was far from peaceful. During their tumultuous divorce, Mills, known for being vocal, surprised the nation by asking exorbitant amounts, like $80,000 annually for wine and $250,000 for clothing. Reputations were called into question, accusations were made, and the settlement made headlines. What transpired behind closed doors during this well-publicized breakup? Was there more to the story than meets the eye? Or did Mills' demands go too far? Stay tuned as we learn more about their tumultuous relationship and its tragic consequences. Mariah Carey. Tommy Mottola, a music executive, and Mariah Carey's marriage served as a warning about manipulation and control. Despite being married with children when they first met, Mottola married Carey after finding her and signing her to Columbia Records. Their union soon became oppressive. Mottola allegedly kept an eye on her every step, preventing her from leaving the house alone, and sent security to follow her everywhere, including to the restroom. According to Carey, she felt imprisoned in her own house. Mottola allegedly ruined her career after the divorce out of resentment, demonstrating that the control also extended to her job. After they divorced in 1998, Carey was free to embrace her uniqueness and creativity. Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian and music producer Damon Thomas had a tumultuous marriage long before Kim Kardashian became well-known. Kim and Thomas, who were 10 years old and her senior, eloped when she was just 19. But the relationship soon became poisonous. Kim subsequently disclosed in court filings that Thomas was aggressive and domineering. He allegedly pushed her away from going to college, cut her off from friends and family, and tricked her into getting cosmetic surgery to improve her looks. Another terrible reality was physical abuse. Kim claimed Thomas had repeatedly abused her violently. The marriage ended in divorce after 4 turbulent years. Although Kim doesn't talk about it much, this chapter was a difficult time before her ascent to international fame. Sandra Bullock. When Sandra Bullock, America's sweetheart, thanked her then-husband, Jesse James, in her cheerful 2010 Oscar speech for The Blind Side, many were taken aback. Although her statements were sincere at the time, James' flawless Hollywood persona was destroyed when the public discovered that he had cheated on other women. The nature of James' reported affairs only made the revelations worse. Michelle "Bombshell" McGee, one of the mistresses, was widely condemned once it was discovered that she had posed in Nazi garb. Even worse, Jesse was connected to the collection of Nazi artifacts and memorabilia. Shortly after, Bullock declared irreconcilable differences and filed for divorce. Bullock endured a terrible ordeal throughout the controversy, but recovered honorably, adopting her son Louis and eventually discovering happiness in her family life. Paul McCartney. One of the most messy divorces in the history of celebrities was Paul McCartney's 2008 separation from Heather Mills. The former model and activist, Mills, was given $48.6 million after requesting an incredible $250 million settlement. The court determined that her requests, which included $400,000 per year for private flights, $80,000 for wine, and $250,000 for clothing, were excessive. Mills' actions throughout the trial severely damaged her reputation. In her televised tirades, she called McCartney unimportant. She even attacked his partnerships with modern musicians like Rihanna and Kanye West, saying they were attempts to remain current. McCartney has elegantly moved on from the turmoil, performing and upholding his famous status as a former Beatle. Jennifer Lopez. In 1997, Jennifer Lopez married Ojani Noah, a Cuban waiter, but the two divorced after barely 1 year. But their breakup didn't mean that their problems were over. Lopez sued Noah in 2006, claiming that their secrecy agreement had been broken. To stop Noah from publishing a book that revealed everything about their marriage. Additionally, Noah has stated that she put her profession above their relationship, which he also expressed on Million Dollar Matchmaker. When Noah tried to expose private footage of Lopez shot during their marriage in 2015, the drama intensified and a new legal battle emerged. The instances demonstrated Lopez's will to safeguard her reputation and privacy as she rose to fame. Dita Von Teese. The marriage of shock rocker Marilyn Manson and burlesque diva Dita Von Teese was as theatrical as their reputations. After courting for 5 years, the pair married in 2005, but their marriage lasted less than 2 years. In an interview with Harper's Bazaar, Von Teese acknowledged that it must have been something pretty bad for her to depart on Christmas Eve, although she hasn't disclosed many specifics. Manson's relationship with actress Evan Rachel Wood, who subsequently accused him of grooming and horrifying abuse, is the subject of much speculation. Von Teese's decision to leave was considered brave, allowing her to escape a contentious and troubled relationship. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj's 2019 marriage to Kenneth Zoo Petty has been controversial because of his criminal history. In 1995, Petty was found guilty of attempted rape and sentenced to prison. The victim claimed that following the marriage, Minaj was severely distressed by the cyberbullying and threats she received from her fans. Petty also served 7 years in jail before being released in 2013 after entering a guilty plea to manslaughter in 2006 for a 2002 gunshot death. Minaj has defended her partnership in the face of criticism, but her fan following is still divided about the union. Critics contend that her association with Petty damages her reputation as an empowering figure. Amy Winehouse. Many believe that Amy Winehouse's catastrophic descent was sparked by her marriage to Blake Fielder Civil. Fielder Civil exposed Winehouse to a world of drugs and mayhem when they got married in 2007. Her former manager described how the once talented celebrity became a shell of herself due to drugs and hopelessness. However, Blake has consistently denied involvement, claiming her problems existed before they were together. Despite his assertions, many people close to Winehouse think his involvement worsened her problems. The tabloids chronicled their tumultuous relationship, which was characterized by public altercations and arrests. Winehouse's skill and the toxic love story that devoured her overshadowed her legacy until she passed away unexpectedly in 2011. John Legend. Chrissy Teigen and John Legend were previously hailed as the internet's favorite couple, but Teigen's previous online conduct damaging their standing. According to model Courtney Stodden, Teigen sent them offensive messages and even advocated self-harm. Stodden was a weak person who Teigen harassed after being coerced into marrying Doug Hutchinson when she was a minor. Teigen encouraged them to take a dirt nap in private messages that the model published. Teigen also made derogatory comments about Farrah Abraham and Lindsay Lohan on social media, which fueled the uproar. Teigen has issued a public apology, but the episode has damaged her once loved public image. Anne Hathaway. Known for her charm and grounded manner, Anne Hathaway was briefly involved with scammer Raffaello Folieri. Hathaway was emotionally tormented by Folieri's complex network of deception, even though the pair were never legally married. Folieri was stealing millions from investors while posing as a wealthy Italian businessman with connections to the Vatican. Love-obsessed Hathaway was taken aback when the FBI arrested Folieri and many of their belongings were taken away. Even though she wasn't a part of his plans, the incident damaged her reputation for a while, and the emotional toll was indisputable. Although Hathaway finally finds happiness with Adam Schulman, the connection with Folieri reminds them of heartache and deceit. Robin Wright and Madonna. Despite being praised as one of Hollywood's best performers, Sean Penn has a darker side that's caused two well-known marriages to fall apart. Robin Wright, a talented actress, and Madonna, the Queen of Pop, suffered from Penn's erratic conduct. Allegations of physical abuse plagued Madonna and Penn's marriage, leading to a frightening event in which he allegedly battered and tied her up. It wasn't much better between Robin Wright and Penn. Throughout their turbulent marriage, which saw several splits and reconciliations, rumors of Penn's domineering personality surfaced. Both women's marriages to Penn were among the most trying times in their lives, revealing the suffering that can be concealed beneath the glamour of Hollywood. Zsa Zsa Gabor. The glitzy Hungarian-American actress and socialite Zsa Zsa Gabor led an extravagant life, but her eighth marriage to Friedrich Prinz von Anhalt was far from ideal. Von Anhalt was notorious for his extravagant claims and eccentric attitude, and he controversially purchased his royal title. Even after 30 years of marriage, he was frequently the target of accusations of financial manipulation and infidelity. In addition, he famously asserted that he was the father of Anna Nicole Smith's child, giving his reputation an odd turn. Gabor remained composed in public, but her marriage turned into a scandal. Many believe that von Anhalt had taken advantage of her wealth and celebrity, leaving the star to deal with her personal issues and public persona. Tina Turner. One of the most notorious musical tales is the union of Tina and Ike Turner. Tina, a well-known singer and powerful soprano, suffered years of abuse at the hands of her spouse and musical partner. Personally and professionally, Ike Turner's violent temper and cunning behavior fostered a toxic environment. Tina's bravery in leaving the marriage and starting over served as an example for many abuse survivors. Her memoirs and the following biopic revealed their relationship's horrific circumstances, showcasing her courage and tenacity. Even after going through unimaginable adversity, Tina Turner's narrative serves as a testimony to the strength of taking back one's life. Christie Brinkley. Supermodel Christie Brinkley, renowned for her bright smile and upbeat attitude, suffered a terrible betrayal while married to architect Peter Cook. Before a startling scandal shattered their union, the couple appeared to be the ideal match. Cook's admission of having an affair with an 18-year-old broke Brinkley's trust and made headlines all around the world. To make things worse, Cook allegedly engaged in inappropriate behavior that was extremely humiliating for the former model and spent outrageous sums of money on online pornography. Their acrimonious divorce dispute was featured in the tabloids, exposing Cook's cunning and disdain for Brinkley's welfare. Brinkley overcame the loss and used her experiences to support others going through similar struggles. Robin Givens. A gifted actress with a bright future, Robin Givens gained notoriety for her tumultuous marriage to boxing icon Mike Tyson. Their union started romantically, but soon spiraled out of control. Givens publicly referred to their relationship as torture due to Tyson's volatile environment and unpredictable behavior. Givens also described the physical and emotional abuse she suffered in a startling 1998 interview with Barbara Walters, which painted a horrifying picture of their private life. Givens' allegations were further supported when Tyson eventually acknowledged engaging in abusive behavior throughout their marriage. Her personal and professional lives suffered due to the connection because she was frequently unjustly demonized for speaking out. Despite the difficulties, Givens rose to prominence as a symbol of tenacity and used her position to raise awareness of domestic abuse. Britney Spears. Pop sensation Britney Spears married her childhood friend Jason Alexander in a surprise Las Vegas wedding in 2004, one of the most strange events in her career. However, the marriage was dissolved after only 55 hours. Although it seemed like a casual choice at first, stories later implied that Alexander had hidden agendas. His reported attempts to exploit Spears' wealth and reputation alarmed her friends and family. Alexander continued to be contentious in the following years, regularly interjecting himself into Spears' story and inciting public anger with his invasive actions. Even though their marriage was short-lived, the event served as a reminder of how easily even the most prominent celebrities may be duped by someone they trust. Denise Richards and Brooke Mueller. Brooke Mueller and Denise Richards both went through the turmoil of being Charlie Sheen's wife. After Richards married Sheen in 2002, they divorced in 2006 due to Sheen's unpredictable behavior, drug usage, and adultery. Even though they had a problematic relationship, Richards eventually won custody of Sheen's kids from Mueller after Mueller battled substance usage. Even more turbulent was Mueller and Sheen's 2008 marriage, which was characterized by restraining orders and allegations of domestic abuse. Both women had to deal with personal adversity and public scrutiny while attempting to live with one of Hollywood's most divisive personalities. Their experiences demonstrate the difficulties of coping with a spouse who engages in harmful conduct and addiction. Melanie Mel B. Brown. Melanie Brown, also known as Mel B., was a Spice Girls star who enthralled audiences with her skill and enthusiastic attitude. However, her marriage to producer Stephen Belafonte was far from happy. Mel B. reported experiencing financial, physical, and mental abuse over their 10 years of marriage. She accused Belafonte of controlling her finances, separating her from her loved ones, and abusing her in her contentious divorce file. Threats of violence and allegations of compulsion into unsuitable circumstances made the situation much worse. Mel B. fought for custody of her children and to regain her independence in a torturous judicial battle. Her bravery in speaking up brought attention to the difficulties many face behind a dazzling public persona. Bethany Frankel. The humorous and driven actress of The Real Housewives of New York City, Bethany Frankel, was married to Jason Hoppy and ended up in a terrible marriage. After starting as a brief affair, the couple's relationship soured and turned into a contentious divorce and custody dispute. Even after they split up, Hoppy was accused of continuing to harass Frankel via texts, emails, and other correspondence, fostering a hostile work environment. Frankel said that Hoppy's actions made her feel emotionally spent and trapped. Frankel's life was made more difficult by the protracted legal dispute for custody of their daughter, Bryn. Despite the chaos, Bethany came out stronger and used her position to advocate for the value of relationships and mental health. Allie Landry. When actress and former Miss USA, Allie Landry, married TV celebrity Mario Lopez in 2004, it appeared she had found her happily ever after. However, after learning that Lopez had cheated on her previously, and probably even during their wedding, Landry dissolved the union 2 weeks later. Given that Lopez first disputed the charges, Landry was devastated by the betrayal. Years later, Lopez acknowledged his adultery and the immaturity and carelessness that caused their relationship to fail. Landry's choice to dissolve the marriage was hailed as a self-respecting gesture that demonstrated her inability to put up with infidelity. She subsequently discovered contentment in a secure and devoted marriage, showing that remaining loyal to oneself is always the best action. Anna Duggar. As a member of the traditional Duggar family that was featured on reality television, Anna Duggar endured unspeakable betrayal in her marriage to Josh Duggar. Josh was first presented as a devoted husband and father, but in 2015 his sinister secrets came to light. He acknowledged that while he was a teenager, he had molested several young girls, including several of his sisters. When it was discovered that Josh also had profiles on extramarital dating sites and had cheated, the issue got out of hand. Anna, who supported him during the first disclosures, was under intense public scrutiny and criticism. Citing her Christian convictions, Anna decided to stay with Josh despite the emotional suffering and humiliation. Her choice, however, provoked intense discussions over the place of forgiveness and faith in betrayed relationships. Mia Farrow. The long-term romance between actress Mia Farrow and director Woody Allen ended in heartache and controversy. Despite never being married, they had a relationship that lasted more than 10 years and had 2 adoptive children, in addition to 1 biological kid. When Farrow learned that Allen was having an affair with her adoptive daughter, Soon-Yi Previn, who was then in her early 20s, the controversy broke out in 1992. The betrayal shocked the public, which resulted in a well-reported custody dispute. Additionally, Farrow accused Allen of misbehaving with their adoptive daughter, Dylan. However, Allen refuted the accusations. Farrow and her kids suffered terrible consequences, making this partnership one of Hollywood's most notorious splits. Sharon Tate. Roman Polanski, a notorious director, married Sharon Tate, a rising celebrity, in the 1960s. The couple's relationship had darker overtones, despite their outward appearance of happiness. Polanski was notorious for his adultery. During their marriage, he was reportedly involved in illicit affairs. Tate's life was tragically cut short when she was 8 months pregnant and brutally killed by the Manson family. Polanski's criminal activities, including his conviction for illicit sexual intercourse with a minor, were exposed in the years after her passing. Despite their brief engagement, Tate and Polanski's relationship and aftermath became a haunting episode in Hollywood history, overshadowing her untimely death and bright career. Ronnie Spector. The Ronettes' lead singer, Ronnie Spector, was trapped in an abusive and oppressive marriage with music producer Phil Spector. Phil secluded and controlled Ronnie behind the scenes of their career success, even locking her in their mansion and preventing her from leaving without his consent. To keep her under control, he also threatened to kill her. Even though Ronnie was terrified, she managed to get away with her mother's assistance. After being found guilty of murder, Phil's aggressive inclinations gained notoriety years later. Ronnie's tale is one of survival and success. She rebuilt her life and gained her independence, and her grit inspired others.